Hello everybody, let's talk about the last type of altered chord in this section, Lydian dominant. To be honest with you, this is quite a huge topic on its own, so we will discuss the details in melodic minor modes, okay? And a Lydian dominant sound is basically a G dominant sounding chord, for example, with a sharp 11 interval. Technically, that is the same pitch as flat 5, but we want to distinguish between resolving dominants and non-resolving dominants. And for a Lydian dominant sounding dominant chord, it has to be a non-resolving chord. And I will show you an example in a minute, okay? So for non-resolving dominant sounding chords, we use the Lydian dominant sound, so G7 with a sharp 11. It doesn't have to be in G, but I'll do it in G, okay? And you can also use the G Lydian dominant scale. Again, this is about a scale thing. This is something we will discuss when we again get to melodic minor modes, okay? So let me show you a chord progression here. So this is from the girl from Ipanema. You have this F major chord going into a G dominant 7th, and then G minor 7th, and then C 7th, and then F major. So you have two dominant 7 chords here. This chord here, the dominant 7, the C dominant 7, is a resolving dominant because the root goes up a fourth. It resolves to F major. So it's a resolving dominant. So we won't be applying a Lydian dominant sound here. And for this chord here, you have G7 going into a G minor. So the root stays the same. And so obviously this root here doesn't go up a fourth. So it's non-resolving. And if we see a non-resolving dominant 7 chord, we can safely apply a Lydian dominant touch to it. So usually in jazz charts, you won't see the tension shown on the page. They will just omit it sometimes. Sometimes they show it. So when you have successfully determined whether the chord is functioning or non-functioning, you can say it's non-functioning right now, you can just add the sharp 11 to it. It doesn't mean that you have to use it every time, but as soon as you know that it's non-resolving, you know you can apply Lydian dominant to it. And if you don't see the tension there, mentally just add sharp 11 to it, okay? So whether you actually use it in your solo or a chord is an artistic choice, so it depends on your experience, musical experience, okay? So the important sound here is flat 3, major 3rd and flat 7. That's the, also the root, okay? That's the dominant 7 shell, right? With the sharp 11, okay? And this whole thing is called a Lydian dominant sound, okay? Cool. So again, it has to be a non-resolving chord. For resolving chords, usually we wouldn't be applying this scale or this sound to it, okay? So you can Google "girl from Ipanema" and check out the first section, A section, and you would be able to listen to this thing, this sound in action. Okay, cool. So quick recap: non-resolving dominant, apply Lydian dominant immediately, and you have this sharp 11 tension. Okay, that's it. So congratulations, you have finished this chapter, and I'll see you in the next part.